All right, it's Bible study time. It's Bible study time. It's Bible study time. Cheddar Charles, rep your city, rep your city. Cheddar Charles, Cheddar Charles, rep your city, rep your city. Hi, what's going on? My name is Sean Oliver, and I just want to talk to you for a quick second. The title of what I'm going to talk to you about today is called The Gospel. As you could tell from that jam that I had playing, that was Ain't No Future in the Front. When I was a young man, I just thought that was the baddest song because I judged myself by that song. And one part it says, I clocked 10 G's a week booming at my peak. Motorola phone, fat rims, and a Kenwood. And I thought that was everything until I heard the gospel. Let's look at it. In John 10:10, it says, the thief cometh but to steal, kill, and destroy. Now, we might not know who the thief is. I don't want to tell you that the thief is an individual. I don't just want to tell you that the thief is Satan, but I just want to define what a thief is, and you make the applications to yourself. Here we go. To steal something means this: something taken from you. Have you ever had something taken from you? When I prayed about this particular subject, what God put upon my heart is the ability to trust. Have you ever lost the ability to trust? We were born with an ability to trust. A baby automatically, when he falls or when he gets ready to do something, he trusts everything's going to be all right. But when he falls and he hurts himself, then there's no trust. When you say, I'm going to catch you, and you drop him, there's no trust. There's some people who told you some things that didn't come through, and you lost the ability to trust. Who did that? Was it the individual? Was it a conscious decision on your part? Or was it some entity called Satan? Steal. Satan comes to steal. He comes to kill. Let's look at what kill means. Kill. Something or someone separated you. Have you ever been separated from your friends because of something you've done? Have you ever been separated from your family because of something that they've done? The Bible says that the enemy comes to steal and kill. So far we're asking the questions. Is anybody listening to this? Have you lost the ability to trust? Is anybody listening to this? You've been separated in some shape, form, or fashion from your family or from your friends. Have you been separated from your peace? Can you sleep at night? I remember when I was rolling and I was going, and if I got just a speck of dirt on my tennis, I'm like, I lost my mind. If I didn't have pockets that were fat, if I didn't have the latest technology, I just didn't have peace. What about you? A person wasn't doing it to me, but the thief was doing it to me. Who's doing it to you? The next thing is we look at destroy, and the definition of destroy: something lost for good. Something lost for good. That means it's gone forever. And something that I look at that maybe it's happened to you or me. Have we had some feelings that are gone forever? There was a time I used to have people work for me, and I had homeboys and I had women, but it's like I had no feelings. I could be in the midst of the club and the party and we jamming, and I'm alone. And there could be people that I liked, people that I wanted to get along with, but I had no feelings. When it came time to put in work, when it came time to act out, when it came to show up and show out, those kinds of circumstances, it was good not to feel. I don't care. I don't care about your mama. I don't care about you. I don't care about your babies. I want my money. But when I wanted to feel for my fiance, when I wanted to feel for my friend, when I wanted to feel when family members died, I had lost all my feelings. And the Bible said the thief cometh but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But then it says, but I, meaning the good shepherd, meaning Jesus, he came to give life and life more abundantly. And the definition of spiritual life means a relationship. Jesus came to give us a relationship with God and a relationship with one another. And so when we review what that looks like, the thief, he took our ability to trust. The thief, he separated us from friends and family. The thief, he took away our feelings. And Jesus said, I come to give it back. And that's good news. And I know at one point, I didn't even know I needed that news. I just knew that I was dealing with situations, circumstances, and people. And the only thing I knew to do is make more money, make more money, make more money, have more women, and I was miserable. And I'm aware it's a lot of people. You haven't made the money. It's a lot of people. You haven't had the women. But let me give you this scenario. Rich people, people who are financially well off, later on in life, they'll make statements like this. All their life, it's been about making money. But at the end of their life, they're like, man, that's not as valuable as relationships. So when a rich person, a financially well-off person tells a poor person money isn't everything, we blow that off. So when a 40-year-old man is talking to you about life and saying sex, women, money, violence, reputation, that's not life. You'll be like, oh man, I'm gonna throw them off. But I want to talk to you real talk. When you get exactly what you want doing wrong, how do you feel? I'm not talking about when you're popping, when you're smoking, but I'm talking about on the inside. Do you feel fulfilled? The relationships that you have. I'm not talking about when you're knocking her down. I'm not talking about when you're giving him what he wants. I'm asking you, when you're in a relationship, how do you feel on the inside? And if there's something missing, I've got good news. And the good news is life is the answer. And the definition of life, Jesus said, I come to give you life. I come to give you a relationship with God. And it says, I come to give you life and that more abundantly. I, being Jesus Christ, came to give us a relationship with God that leads to a relationship with one another. Look at jail to jobs. Look at what's being offered. Look at how we treat you. Look at the fact that it's not about what you did to please us or what you can pay us. It's about the fact that we have an altruistic motive called love that prompts us to want to assist you. If it's a young lady and she's pregnant, if it's a dude and he's violent, who else accepts you just for you? The fellas want you to do what they want you to do. And when you don't do what the fellas want, what they do with you. Real talk. Some of us, and I've been there, we don't even accept ourselves. If I don't have this amount of money, if I'm not driving this, if I'm not living there, if when I walk in the room, everybody don't recognize me, I don't feel good about myself. But when you're going out on them construction sites, when you're doing Meals on Wheels, when you're doing these various other things and the supervisors pick you up, we're human. We have bad days, we have families, we have things going on, but we look forward to seeing you because we have a relationship. We have life with God and we want a relationship with you. That's good news. It's good news. And if it's not good news for you now, what kind of news do you have? Play the tape. Man, I got to get this, man. You know, I got to do what I got to do. Man, she pregnant. Yeah, and what's that going to lead to? What's that going to lead to, fellas? Done 27 tight. I'm not boasting. I'm saying never been to prison. In college. But I'm having it my way. And in 27 years, I ran into every kind of dude. And every kind of dude has to admit at some point, man, the way I was doing it, that wasn't getting it. Life. When we look at life, where we lost trust in people, Jesus gives us trust in God. How does he do that? Because God will forgive us for everything. I know they have the rap songs, but I'm giving you the reality. There are a lot of people telling on people. There are a lot of people, if they knew everything that you did, if all your partners, if your family members, if your friends, if everybody who's in your life really knew everything about you, would they still care? If you didn't put in work, if you didn't look like you look, if you couldn't do what you could do, if you couldn't talk like you can now, would they want you? The good news is God not only wants you, but when you don't want him and I don't want him, he still forgives us. Who else is going to do that? There is no one in this world that can forgive you for everything. Even mama. She'll stick with you, but do some things. Do some things. I don't want to go into all the details, but do some terrible things to your family members. It happens, fellas. It happens. Do some terrible things, and I'm telling you, she won't forgive you, but God will. God will. And since we know that God will forgive us through us placing our belief in Jesus Christ, he gives us that trust. Another thing that he gives us love. The reason you are part of Jail to Jobs is because we love you with his love. Bro, you're not doing everything right. Little sister, you're not doing everything right. And there's a lot of people who have given up on you, but God never gives up on you. He will continue to pursue you. I remember when I was doing all kind of stuff and people coming at me and they telling me here and there, I meet a good girl. I go to church and get some women and I meet a good girl and she said, oh, you need to change. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to hear that. God forgave me. When my mother died of cancer in 2011 and I'm away in prison, when her sisters and their sons and their daughters needed help financially and I was not there because I'm in prison, when I got out in April, they welcomed me with open arms. They showed me God's love. Because it's some family members that'll turn their backs on you and me. But God never will. So where the word says Satan comes to steal and kill, remember that kill separated from you. What? Who? Friends, family. The good news, life. I come to give you a relationship with God and others. I'll give you forgiveness so you can trust. I'll give you love so there's no separation anymore. My sin no longer separates me from God. And so what that means is if God is all right with me, he can make some people all right with me. How many times have you disappointed people in Jail to Jobs, but they still all right with you? It's not because you so good, but because he's so loving. He's so loving. And the final remark, destroy. Something lost for good. Feelings. Bruh. I know what it's like not to feel. I know what it's like to be in the midst of whatever is going down. And I just don't care. And it used to be cool to me like that because I'm like, man, I know I'm all right. I can do anything and not feel a thing. And then one day, God gave me a glimpse of who I had become. And he didn't give me a speech or anything. He just let me see pitch black. And when I saw the pitch black, I just felt so much sadness. I'm going to the club, baby. I'm making money. I got the rot. She 9 months, 120 pounds. She right there. And I'm like, man, I'm feeling myself. And I dropped to the floor and I started crying. And I'm like, man, what am I crying about? And all I saw was pitch blackness. Later on, after I accepted that life, that relationship, that good news with God through Jesus Christ, God showed me, I just really let you feel what you have become. And bro, I was so dark and so lonely and so mad and so disappointed that it wasn't nothing but black. And so I thank God that I love you. I thank God that I can trust God, that I believe that something said in this video about the good news, the gospel of Jesus Christ, will change you, because my love is not predicated by your actions. My love is not necessarily built on you're going to do this, that, and the other, and it's going to help me, or you're going to be the greatest person who comes through Jail to Jobs ministry. No, it's based upon I can feel. I can feel. And I'm telling you, I feel in my heart someone watching this teaching that steal, that kill, that destroy. That's happened. That's happening in your life. But Jesus said, I come to give you life, and that more abundantly. I come offering forgiveness for every sin. I come offering conditional love, not just loving you when you do what I want you to do, but loving you when you do your best, when you look your worst, loving you. And I came to give you feelings, and the particular feeling I want to close with, God will give you joy. What joy is when a woman is about to have a baby and she's decided, I want this baby, and she's going through pain and she's being pushed to the limits emotionally and physically. She goes through it because she has an expectation that the end is going to make her happy. Man, I used to go to them country towns when I first come up. I get it, I chop it, I package it, I put it all in a drawer. I pull that drawer out overnight, go to the cut, come back. And what I started off as product, it's nothing but dollars. It's nothing but cash. We had $1,000 Thursdays. That was wholesale and all. You understand what I'm talking about? I had an expectation, so it didn't matter whether it was hot, whether it was cold, but I was empty. I was empty. I was lonely. I was mad, and that's why I would act out. And if somebody else acted out just like me, but there's good news. And that good news is Jesus came to give us life. He came to give us a relationship with God. And when we have a relationship with God, that will translate to relationship with us. Everybody wants good people in their lives, but we're not good people. We're not good people. And there's a thing that I learned called the law of attraction. We attract who we are. But when we have God, when we have our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, oh, look what God can do. So in closing, that's the gospel. That where the enemy stole our ability to trust. A lot of us, we didn't trust God. We didn't trust God. Some of us, we still might not trust God. But Jesus, through forgiveness is powerful. When you know you've been forgiven, when you know the rottenness and the low down stuff you do, when you know you are forgiven, then you can trust God. A lot of we don't want to associate with God. And when I say us, I put myself where you at, meaning this: whenever I do something wrong, I don't want to associate with God. I don't want to be God's friend. I don't want to hear that stuff. But now, I want to hear it all the time. And finally, man, I can't feel God. God ain't real to me. He's so real that he's meeting you right where you at to let you know, I come to give you life, and that more abundantly. Ladies, fellas, you be blessed.